it's Reagan, and today I'm doing one of my absolute favorite videos to film every year, and that is the Bookish Academy Awards. I've done this now, I think this is my 4th time. I'll leave all my old ones down below, but basically this is a tag that takes all of the Academy Award categories and makes them bookish, and then you take all the books that you read last year and then give them awards. Personally, I like to only give one book one award to make sure I'm displaying as many books as possible, and I'm also going to be sure to link the creator of this tag down below. But anyway, without further ado, let's jump in because I just love doing this. Quick disclaimer, everything is in its proper order. Don't worry, I won't mess up Best Picture, though Moonlight was my favorite, so I love that Moonlight won. So the first category is Best Actor, and this is Best Male in a Leading Role in a Book. I mulled over this for a while, but I just had to go with Rysand, I don't know how to say it, but all I do know is that when I read this back in May, absolutely obsessed with both him, mostly him, and this book. This is legitimately like book drugs, okay? You are just sucked in and you are just in it. You're with the characters, you're with the romance, and you just can't put it down. Specifically, Sarah J. Maas has a talent for writing dark, broody, ridiculous male characters that you can't help but to love, even though you know they're flawed, but you still love them anyway. This is just like prime proof example of that. If you have not read ACOTAR, would definitely recommend if you're into some sort of, if you're feeling for some sort of like high action, high romance, lots of uncomfortable sexual metaphors, you might want to check this out. But yeah, I can't wait for the 3rd book of this series. It was great. Go Rysand? I think that's how you say it. Next category is Best Actress. For this, I kind of went with the sleeper, and I'm going with Kate Harker from The Savage Song. This is just such a great character-led book, and Kate is such a fascinating, dark, and complex character. This is a YA novel set in the world where it's kind of split in two. Basically, monsters can manifest themselves in real life, basically when an action that is done that is evil, from killing to theft to battery, that crime is manifested into a monster. And Kate is a human, but she wants to be just like her father and become a monster and be a bad person. We follow her as well as August throughout the story, and it's just such a riveting tale. Loved it so much. Kate is so interesting, and so is August. I love him too, and I can't wait for the next book in this series as well, but I really feel like Kate is just so dynamic. Had to give her Best Actress. Next up is Best Cinematography or Best Plot Twist. For this, I had to go with Three Dark Crowns for a couple reasons. One, this has amazing plot twists, but two, I feel like cinematography also points to atmosphere, and boy oh boy does this world have some great atmosphere. It's so dark and mysterious and brooding, but really this story will keep you on your toes and keep you guessing. Obviously, I'm not going to even begin to explain what the plot twists are about because that would just destroy the whole thing, but know that this has such an amazing plot, such amazing characters, such an amazing world. Absolutely love this book. It's so good. It's about 3 sisters from 3 different factions with 3 different types of power trying to kill each other to gain the throne. In summary, it's a matriarchy and it's delicious, okay? It's so good. Next up is Best Costume Design or Best Book Cover, and for this I went with Furthermore by Tahera Mafi. I absolutely love this book cover. It's colorful, it's just so well done, and honestly it fits the tone of the story so well. It's just lovely. Like, you look at this cover, you get happy, and honestly it's such a great reflection of this story as well. It's whimsical, it's magical, and it's just so lovely, and I just love this book. Even the end pages are beautiful, and the book itself is this lovely, like, dark periwinkle, I guess. It's just so good and such a well-crafted book that I had to give it to Furthermore. Next up is Best Supporting Actor and Actress or the Best Sidekick Characters in a Story. I decided to choose Magnus Chase by Rick Riordan because honestly, Rick Riordan is the master of writing wonderful characters, specifically great and hilarious side characters that you love and adore. Every side character that he's ever written, I have loved, and I'm basically giving this award to both characters in Magnus Chase, The Gods of Asgard, as well as every book he's ever written because I love all of his side characters and his characters. They're funny, they're relatable, they're diverse, they have so much to say, and they're just so dang good, and I just love Rick Riordan so much. I don't care that I'm 22 years old. I will always read Rick Riordan books, and I will read them to my children, and they will read them from their children, and it will just go on forever. Next up is Best Original Screenplay, and this is the Best Plot or Most Unique Worlds. For this I'm going with Flamecaster by Cinda Williams-Shyma. I picked this because this is the continuation of the Seven Realms series, and this world is so rich and so complex that Cinda Williams-Shyma has written literally, this is her 5th book in this world, and it's just growing and growing at a rate that's just so unique and so amazing, and it's engrossing. And I just love the world and the characters and the politics of this series. I will never have enough. I will always want more, and there's a new book in this series coming out this year. Cannot wait, even though they changed the cover. More on that at a later date. But it's just amazing. And if you haven't read the Seven Realms series, highly would recommend. You do have to start with the first one, but it's just amazing. It's a multi-perspective fantasy novel following different factions and tribes within this world. It has different types of magic. It's deliciously political, and it's so dang good, okay? Next up is Best Adapted Screenplay, which is the best book to movie adaptation. I don't think I actually saw any book to movie adaptations this year, so I altered this slightly to be what books I think would make fantastic movies and should be adapted. So I chose Six of Crows duology by Leigh Bardugo. This is such a great series that I think would translate so well to the screen. It's a multi-perspective fantasy novel following a heist and a group of unsavory but lovable characters who all have such bold and original personalities. I just think this would translate so well. The world is so rich and interesting, and I think visually it'd be really cool on screen. And just watching these characters interact with each other and all the drama they have and all the backstory they have, I'm living for it. And honestly, they haven't done it yet, but clearly they should. I can be hired on as, you know, any type of information need and, you know, that they need, because clearly this needs to happen. So you hear me, movie people? Next up is Best Animated Feature, and this is a book that you think would be really well adapted into an animated film. This, I went with The School for Good and Evil by Sonan Chainini. This is a whimsical tale about basically a school for good and a school for evil, and it follows 2 best friends, Sophie and Agatha, who basically get sorted into schools that they think they don't belong in. Sophie thinks she's good, she's placed in the evil school. Sophie thinks she's evil, she's placed in the good school. And this is a story all about fairy tales and magic, but also that good and evil is not so black and white. There's a lot of gray when it comes to behavior and personality. And I just think, 1, it's a great story, and 2, I think it would be beautifully made into an animated film or animated series with all the whimsy and the color and the monsters and the castle and the princess feeling. I think, 1, it would fit very well into that genre itself, and I just really feel like it would be a great animated tale. So Next up is Best Director, which is an author that you found this past year and you just love them. For this, I had to go with Brent Weeks, who I hadn't read until this past year, and I've read 3 of his books now. Totally obsessed with everything he's written that I have read. Obviously, he wrote the Prism series, which I've talked about ceaselessly on my channel, but he's also written this Assassin Night Angel trilogy as well that I really want to pick up soon. But he's just so great. He's written such amazing original worlds, as in the Prism series, with a color spectrum, and the action and the characters he writes are just so great. I'm so happy to have found him. I can't wait to read more of his books because he has a lot more, and I think he's really young, so I feel like he's going to be writing more and more in the future, which is great. So Brent Weeks. Next up is Best Visual Effects or Best Action in a Novel. I had to choose Illuminae by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. This is a fast-paced science fiction story told in unusual format, basically like messages and emails and press releases, and it is so crazy, so fast-paced, so many twists and turns, and so much action that honestly loved this book series. Was totally taken by surprise with how much I loved it. Completely engrossed with the action and the story that I was telling. I don't even want to say much about what this book is about, just know that it's set on a spaceship and crap goes down basically, and boy, this is a non-stop action roller coaster. So if you haven't read this, read it. Next up is Best Documentary or Best Historical Fiction Novel. For this, I went with The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. Again, this is another book that I've literally never shut up about, but this is a wonderful and beautiful World War II story following 2 sisters and their individual and unique involvement in World War II in France. This is a story of women in the war, people fighting the war at home, and the impacts that war had on people's everyday life, and it is beautiful, it is heartbreaking, it is inspiring, it is all those things. I cried so much in this story. I thought it was a wonderful, wonderful tale. Really would recommend anyone picking it up. The sisters are just so incredible and capable in so many different ways. Honestly, again, I'll use this word again, inspiring. And the last, but certainly not least, is Best Picture. For this, I just had to pick the book I picked. It was like the first book I read in 2016, and I would be lying if I said it was anything else, and that is A Wise Man's Fear by Patrick Rothfuss. I'm pretty sure The Name of the Wind won Best Picture last video, but like, I can't help it. Patrick Rothfuss and this series, completely in love with it. Honestly, it's probably changed my fantasy life, if you will. It's just amazing. No other story has such a rich plot and has such amazing characters and just keeps you in this narrative that is both beautiful and just timeless and fascinating. And then I just could talk about this book for forever. I love it. I don't know when the third one's coming out, and it's so depressing to think how long I might have to wait to finish this. Honestly, I'm probably gonna have to reread The Name of the Wind soon, which honestly isn't that bad of a thing because I loved it so much, but I had to pick this for Best Picture. It's just so good. Alrighty guys, that is the Bookish Academy Awards. Let me know down below the books you would have chosen for some of these categories, as I would love to know. I love this video, I love this tag. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you soon with another video soon. Goodbye!